story is set in a quaint small town with a charming old bookstore that has been around for decades. The tale spans different eras from the 1940s during World War II to the present day. A young, curious woman in her late 20s who loves to spend her weekends exploring vintage bookstores. She has a kind heart and a deep appreciation for history and love stories. An elderly woman in her late 80s who was once a vibrant young woman during the war. She lives alone in a cozy house filled with memories of her past, including the love she lost during the war, a soldier who fought in World War II and was deeply in love with Margaret. Though he passed away decades ago, his love for Margaret lives on through the letter he wrote. Emily, while browsing through an old, dusty book in a hidden corner of the bookstore, discovers a carefully folded letter tucked between the pages. The letter, dated from the 1940s, is beautifully written on yellowed paper. It's a love letter from a soldier named James, expressing his deep love and longing for his sweetheart Margaret, whom he hopes to marry after the war. Moved by the sincerity and emotion in the letter, Emily feels a strong connection to the love story. She becomes determined to find out what happened to Margaret and whether she ever received James's letter. Emily embarks on a journey to find Margaret, asking around town and digging through old records. Her search leads her to an elderly woman living alone in a charming but slightly worn-down house at the edge of town. Emily is nervous but excited as she knocks on Margaret's door, holding the letter close to her heart. Margaret, surprised by the visit from a stranger, listens intently as Emily explains how she found the letter. When Emily reads the letter aloud, Margaret's eyes fill with tears. She reveals that she never received the letter and had always wondered why James stopped writing. She shares her story of waiting for him and how, after the war, she eventually accepted that she might never know what happened to him. Overwhelmed with emotion, Margaret thanks Emily for bringing her the letter, which finally gives her the closure she never had. The two women bond over the story, with Margaret sharing more memories of James and Emily becoming a regular visitor to her home. Their friendship blossoms as they continue to explore the love story that was frozen in time. Margaret finds comfort in reading the letter often, feeling James's love as if it were fresh and new. Emily, inspired by the story, begins documenting it, turning their experience into a book that honors the enduring power of love. As the story comes to a close, Margaret passes away peacefully, having finally found the closure and peace she sought for so many years. Emily, heartbroken but grateful for the time they spent together, finishes the book she started, dedicating it to both James and Margaret. The book becomes a local sensation, reminding everyone in the town of the timelessness of true love and the importance of never giving up on finding it. Emily, now carrying the torch of their love story, continues to visit the bookstore, knowing that love, no matter how long it takes, always finds its way.